You know that feeling when everyone's talking about last night's football game and you're just standing there with nothing to say? Not because you missed it, but because even if you watched it, you still wouldn't care. While millions of people plan their entire weekend around football, paint their faces, scream at TVs, and feel genuine heartbreak when their team loses, you feel absolutely nothing. And here's what nobody tells you: that's completely normal. In fact, there's fascinating psychology behind why some brains light up for football while others just don't. And understanding it might be the most validating thing you hear all week. Let me paint you a picture. It's game day. Your friends are gathered around the TV. There's energy. There's excitement building. The kickoff happens. Everyone leans forward. And you? You're thinking about literally something else. Maybe you're wondering how long you need to stay before it's polite to leave. Or you're on your phone. Maybe you're having a perfectly nice time with the people, just not the game. Someone scores. The room explodes. You clap along, but inside you're thinking, I genuinely don't understand why this matters. And then comes that familiar feeling. Am I weird? Is something wrong with me? Because you've been told your whole life that sports bring people together, that it's about community, passion, and tradition. You agree with all of that, but you just can't feel it. Here's the psychological reasons behind why you act this way, and once you understand this, everything begins to make sense. Your brain processes emotional investment through something psychologists call personal relevance mapping. Essentially, before your brain decides to care about something, it runs a quick scan. How does this connect to my life, my identity, my direct experience? For people who love football, that connection is immediate and powerful. When their team wins, their brain genuinely experiences it as a personal victory. The city they're from, the colors they wore growing up, the memories attached to watching games with family, all of it creates what's called identity fusion, where the team's success literally feels like their own success. Their brain doesn't see a difference between my team won and I won. But your brain, it sees the difference crystal clear. You watch 22 strangers running on a field, and your brain accurately recognizes, I don't know these people. Their success doesn't change my life. I have zero control over this outcome. And because of that clarity, your brain refuses to release dopamine, the feel-good chemical, for something that has no actual bearing on your existence. This isn't a deficiency. This is accuracy. You're simply being honest about what's real and what's symbolic. Now here's the truth no one ever told you. Most people's brains are wired to feel satisfaction from witnessing excellence. Even excellence they're not participating in. They watch a perfect throw, a brilliant play, an underdog victory, and their brain lights up with genuine joy. And that's what psychologists call agency-based reward systems. But your reward system requires direct participation. Your brain needs to be in the arena, not watching it. It craves the feeling of learning, improving, creating, solving. You'd rather play a sport poorly than watch professionals play it perfectly. You'd rather make bad art than admire masterpieces passively, not because you're competitive or antisocial, but because your dopamine system literally only activates when you're the one doing the thing. This is why you can spend 4 hours working on a project and feel energized, but 30 minutes watching football feels like torture. Your brain isn't wired for spectatorship, it's wired for authorship. Here's what makes this even more fascinating. The people who don't watch football aren't broken. They're just wired differently. These are people whose brains have a different priority system. They can't release dopamine, that feel-good chemical, for symbolic victories. Their reward system only activates for real progress, for things they can actually influence, for moments where they're growing, not just watching. And that's not a deficiency. That's a different design. They can't fake enthusiasm. They can't force themselves to care about things just because everyone else does. Their emotional energy has standards, high ones, which means when they do invest in something, it's authentic, it's deep, it's real. They're not swayed by cultural scripts about what they're supposed to enjoy. They're not performing passion for the sake of fitting in. They know what actually fulfills them, and they honor that, even when it makes them the odd one. In a world drowning in performative enthusiasm, that's not a weakness. That's integrity. These are the people who ask deeper questions before investing their attention. Does this actually matter to my life? Am I growing from this? Is this connection real, or am I just going through the motions? Those aren't the questions of someone who's missing something. Those are the questions of someone who takes their time, their energy, and their attention seriously. They're not cold or disconnected. They're discerning. So here's the truth about people who don't watch football. They're the ones who can't be sold on something just because it's popular. They're the ones who would rather be genuinely indifferent than fake interested. And that's not something to fix. That's something to understand. So the next time someone asks, "How can you not care about a football game?" remember this. You care about things that are real to you, things you can touch, change, create, and improve. And if understanding this made you feel a little less alone and a little more seen, then comment on the part that resonated with you most, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can stay connected as we dive deeper into the psychology that explains not just people, but you.